What's up, guys? My name is Toba. I'm an admin of the Comics Meltdown, and this is just a Comic Meltdown chat for you guys to watch us talking about stuff. And make sure you comment, make sure you like the video, and hopefully we'll make more as time goes along, depending on the feedback that we get. Luckily, I have some great comic minds with me today. Great comic minds. Dapo Senior is in the house. Dapo, what's going on?
I'm good. The audience is announced. I can't wait to get
We
this
also have great. Dapo is the almighty biggest Thor fan on the Meltdown. I challenge anybody who is a bigger Thor fan than Dapo. We also have the Niger nerd, the almighty Nuru Jay in the house with us. What's going on, Nuru?
I'm good, man.
Great to have you, bro. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do a lot more of this. And also, funny enough, we have two biggest. Okay, so we have that one, biggest Thor fan, and we also have the biggest Batman fan in the house. This guy is not going to listen to any argument about Batman. Batman can even beat. Let me see, who is the most ridiculous person that Batman can beat? Batman can beat the president, if possible, in this guy's books. Okay, so I think Moore's video has frozen, right? Because he's not moving at all. What we're going to be talking about right now is the second most powerful characters in both Marvel and DC Comics. Moore has been down our necks. He wants to talk. So, Moore, go ahead.
Okay,
Take
so
the
I'm
floor.
going to talk about the second most common powerful fighter in Marvel, then go to the second most powerful character in DC. Because Marvel is pretty straightforward. For me, it's a split between Eternity and Thanos with the Gauntlet.
Okay.
Gauntlet, he was able to take out most of the universal entities, all of them, Eternity, Galactus, all of them with his Gauntlet, and could almost do anything. And if you see Old Man Thanos, I think he killed everybody, even Odin and something. So I think with him with the Gauntlet, paradoxically for me,
he doesn't even have the Heart of the Universe, though. You've not even mentioned Heart of the Universe. Now,
even Heart of the Universe. I mean, just Thanos with something. Whether with the Gauntlet, with Heart of the Universe, just him being old. Yeah, I mean, for Marvel, it's straightforward. For DC, a lot of people want me to use Michael the Burgos because or Lucifer, but I'm going to go with Batman. The reason is clear. In terms of wait, it's important that you listen to me.
I'm listening. I'm just laughing.
Whenever there's a problem, whether through plot device, whether there's a threat, even a threat as God level, the only character who seems to wait. Look, why is everybody laughing? Dead.
That's why we're laughing, because we get serious.
And the only character
sorry, I'm so sorry.
Beyond the way we're to do with any problem, no matter how God level, whether it's Darkseid or Michael the Burgos, seems to be Batman. For someone who claims to be human, whether through plot device or anything, characters seem to forget how to deal with a mere human when they are battling. Superman feels like he can go at speeds of light. If even Darkseid that he can destroy, turn Batman to paste or something. Those things that Batman seems to be able has that, whether it's plot armor, whether it's writer's power or something. The power seems to transcend normal comic realm because you deal with every single thing. I mean, I was playing Injustice God Among Us, and the guy took down Aquaman in a fist fight. Aquaman that can move mountains. How did that happen? Well, he did it. He took down Aquaman, he took down Superman, he took down Green Lantern, who is the embodiment of will. So if there's a character that can take down all these godlike characters, I mean, I've seen Aquaman take on a continent for crying out loud. I've seen it, but somehow, Batman seems to find the solution, right? So, in theory, it might be Michael the Morgos, it might be Lucifer, it might be some omnipresent spectrum, but the one guy who manipulate those people take them down, using one means or other, has to be back. And it's valid because it's true. Right, that's my
First of all, let me tackle that Injustice. The Injustice storyline. By the way, the Injustice story arc is one of the most intriguing, one of the best written storylines I've ever read. It explores a lot of things that they would never dare explore in real Superman, Batman, DC universe. But that whole thing, I mean, he's augmented in those fights because at that point the reason why everybody's on an equal footing is that there's this pills that they all get and they all can take, which makes everybody. I mean, Harley Quinn goes up against guys and punches the lights out of people. I mean, come on. So you see that's probably not a good argument for Batman. I think Batman has been clearly. I think Batman's real power is what Moore just said, that he claims to be human. Because there's clearly something about that guy that's a little bit beyond the regular Joe. Anyway, so all this story. I read somebody wrote this short comic where you had Batman go out and fight and come back wounded. Alfred carries him out of the Batmobile, puts him down, and he lies down. And he's so wounded and he's gonna die. Next thing he dies. And Alfred's like, oh. Then he goes downstairs and then opens something and brings out another clone of Batman. And Batman goes out and fights next. And I'm like, that is probably the real reason why he's able to do what he does. And there's multiple clones of him with the memory constant being transferred.
I'll give you a retort. When someone asks me about what the power of Batman is, I always tell them something.
Rich.
Batman is the power of ingenuity. It's as powerful as you need him to be, right? Whatever the crisis, whatever is the God, if it's God, if it's Michael, if it's whatever happens, it's as powerful as you need him to be for that particular time, right? And yes, it maintains that baseline form of being human, but ingenuity has no limit.
So who do you rank above him? This one that he's the second most powerful in your mind. Who's the most powerful? Look at it. If there's a threat like Michael, if you want someone to deal with it, want to find a way, it's Batman you will find. You will not find Michael, you will not find Superman or something. It's Batman that will have to find a way to deal with it. He might not be physically powerful, but in terms of dealing Toba
with
has muted himself. Can't hear it.
Okay, so in terms of physically powerful,
Can you hear me?
But I can hear you now. But in terms of actual second most powerful, in terms of ingenuity, in terms of dealing with the problem, it's second most powerful. And I cannot see a second. And you can't tell me Spectre or Michael or people that are manipulated by DC, by pride or hubris. I can't see it. That's my opinion.
Dude. Okay.
Okay.
We'll leave it to the meltdown to argue with your point. But we're going counterclockwise. Who do you think the second most powerful characters, DC and Marvel?
The second most powerful characters, DC and Marvel. I think the second most powerful character in Marvel, let me start with that, is Franklin Richards. His power set is known. He's able to pretty much rewrite reality at will. He can control things on a molecular level. His powers are cosmic. Time doesn't limit him. Space doesn't limit him. If he can think of it, he can do it. And so you're basically up against somebody who can look at you. It doesn't matter what you're bringing against him. Effectively, in my mind, that kind of power set, you can go up against whatever Infinity Gauntlet or Gauntlet. You come up with 10 of them. Doesn't matter. All you have to do is think of something, and that's an insane level of power. And unfortunately, coming up with that level of power limits the character, because then you have to figure out ways to either keep him out of your stories, or else he will end everything by showing up, or you just figure out other ways to tell the story and create some kind of conundrum, maybe an ethical issue for him that limits him. But also the fact that he's a child in most of the storylines we read, so that also limits his imagination. But with experience, full-grown Franklin Richards will kick anybody's ass, and he's second only to the presence, I think.
To TOA.
Sorry, TOA. One number one. Yeah, it was a mistake. I was going to say TOA. Now, on the DC level, I'm going to do something you guys will not believe. I agree with more.
Jesus. Okay, we're ending this video now. Sorry guys, I can't with you guys.
Yeah.
Like seriously, you believe Batman is the second most powerful guy?
Batman is the second most
There are
powerful.
reasons.
Because here's why.
No, you don't do.
Batman's true power is plot armor. You can't beat plot armor. And the only person who's above plot armor is the presence. So that's it.
There you go. There you go.
Because Batman will face anybody, and they will figure out a way to say the person made a mistake. It's just the plot. So he's the most powerful.
To be honest with you, it was a bit of a was that the end of? Was that I think that was Final Crisis, the one with the bit with Radiant Bullet and Darkseid, right?
Yeah.
Darkseid.
Yeah, that's Final Crisis. Yeah.
That was a stretch. Like that did not make any sense. That part there
If any of it
Don't
made
make any
sense,
sense.
listen. If any of it made
No.
sense, that's the
I've seen,
issue. The point
I've
is
seen,
plot.
I've
The
seen
plot.
Punisher outrun Sentry. That doesn't make sense. I've seen Captain America go toe to toe with Hulk. That doesn't make sense.
Bro, that wasn't canon, bro. That wasn't canon, bro. But no.
What do you mean outrun? What do you mean by outrun, Punisher?
He tried to shoot. What's that guy? Osborn, and he put a second was chasing him, and he managed to escape. How
Yes.
does
So,
someone?
so let's make clear, he didn't outrun it.
Oh, okay, I even thought about it. I thought it was
outrun
about
it.
Punisher
I know
killing
exactly
him.
what you're talking about.
Wait, you're talking about was that when
He's talking about
the Dark Avengers?
Dark
run?
Avengers, yes.
Yeah. So you
Punisher's
don't
another
escape
guy
from
that
Sentry.
you baffle.
I mean,
you
I've seen
baffling.
Captain America beat Hulk with pressure points. If you're looking for make sense in comics, then you open a whole new can of worms, right? I mean,
we're talking about guys who fly. Come on, man. It's making
yeah,
sense.
exactly. So if you're looking
But
for
as far as
physics,
sticking
he
to
shot
its
him
own
with a rad
rules,
iron bullet, and that's their weakness. A rad iron bullet shot him. I mean, come on. I've seen Superman being shot with a kryptonite bullet, and this guy can move faster than light. So what?
you know, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Let's not even go into the fact that
Dapo,
everybody.
what about you?
everybody
Second
in
most
the Flash
powerful
faces
character
each
Marvel
other.
DC for you.
Well, well enough, I am going to agree with somebody here as well. In Marvel, right, so let me give you some criteria. I'm not picking any of the universal constructs who are I'm not picking any of them because it makes no sense to me. So I'm picking people who are born on the planet and basically either the mutants or aliens. So I'm not picking any of your Eternities, your TOA, because we get into all sorts of arguments with those ones. So to me, there's 4 choices I had. I had Sentry, I had Miranda, I had Molecule Man, and I had Franklin Richards. So I've decided, and this is where I'm agreeing with Jay, that my second most powerful is Franklin Richards. And I'm only putting him second to Miranda.
Really?
So
No, you can man.
no,
Okay.
I think Franklin edges Molecule Man. I think his age is what kind of holds him back a lot. And obviously, in the recent comic, actually, how
Yeah. Isn't that Hickman's comic?
There's some background noise somewhere. I can barely hear.
It's not from here.
You got 4 minutes, you know.
There's background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can hear like pots and
Wait.
flying and stuff.
Not for me.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay,
It's
so
better. It's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm picking Frank Richards as second, and at the moment he's depowered in the latest Fantastic Four comic.
okay, let's figure it out.
Toba, is that from your
Yeah, Toba's got the family right in front of him.
Stop
Right. So you'll have to edit this bit again.
Sorry, that's my daughter. Sorry about that.
I'll do it again now. So
Just wants to host.
out of my 4 of Sentry, Miranda, Molecule Man, and Franklin Richards, I'm going to say Franklin Richards is the second most powerful person in Marvel, and second to only Miranda. Even though currently he's no longer that powerful, he's been in the latest issue of Fantastic Four. They've depowered him, but I know that's only temporary. But yeah, so for me, Marvel, Franklin Richards. Now DC. To me, DC is a very strange universe. It is. Because of your question, Toba, I kind of looked at this a bit more, and I'm thinking, hang a minute. There's not that many powerful people who are not almost like cosmic constructs. And then the only person I came up with. So my answer is going to be Superman, actually.
Jeez, what the?
Yeah, my answer, second most powerful, is going to be Superman. And that's because, to me, my most powerful, and I'm not picking Spectre, because Spectre's like God. He's like God's anger, or whatever you want to call it. So
God's wrath.
Yeah, sorry, God's wrath. So, to me, that's I don't count those kind of beings. The only person I had above Superman was Elaine Belloc. And so, anybody doesn't know who Elaine Belloc is, she's from the Lucifer comics. So she was the one when the president decided to leave his creation behind. she inherited the power of creation, and she created her own universe, and she's still the character in the DC universe at the moment. And even Lucifer is scared of her. But Superman, as much as I always diss him, attack him, in DC Comics, he is almost all powerful.
Can I give a retort? Can I give a retort to two things? First, I want to give a talk to Frank and Richard. I don't get this reality war stuff. Because is it not the same power that Scarlet Witch has?
Guys, just tune me out for now. Sorry, I mute my.
Is it not the same power that Scarlet Witch has? Reality warping, changing this, or Mad Jim Jaspers has?
No, Scarlet Witch can warp this reality. But Franklin Richards can create. He can warp this reality, and he can create other realities, create universes of his own.
So
he recreated
Doom with the gauntlet. That Doom in that battle.
Oh, okay. So one criteria again. I removed anybody with tools. The gauntlet is the power.
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
That gauntlet can go to anybody, and I can. So to me, Doom with gauntlet is way more powerful than Thanos with gauntlet, for argument's sake. So
possible.
So I kind of ignored the gauntlet and all that kind of stuff. So I'll put Franklin, but Scarlet Witch also does not have much control over her power, unfortunately. She's a creature of emotion and chaos. Well, sorry, chaos magic. I guess it goes. Franklin Richards, he's got scary control of his powers. I mean, he at the moment he's the one who recreated the Marvel's multiverse currently. So I agree with Jay on that. And for Superman, even though it hurts me to say that word, I'll say Superman for DC. Batman is not even top 100 for me.
But I think for me, the Batman angle was when
powerful character. Superman is not top 5 or top 10 physically powerful.
Physically powerful?
Okay.
Physically powerful, not top 5. Not even close. And Superman is more powerful.
No.
Hang a
minute.
Manhunter is more powerful than Superman.
Yes,
no, he's not.
No, explain why you say so. It's not just
So Anti-Monitor was on my list, but again, he's not. To me, he's part of the fabric of the cosmos. To me, he's like a Galactus type. He's like a. That's why I ignored all of those. I went for. But,
okay. So how about Black Adam?
Yeah, so but I'll still put
that
Superman.
You got Zeus.
Superman has more. Superman still has more powers than Black Adam.
Not more than Zeus or the Hyper or Darkseid.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
I would say Superman up against Darkseid, straight physical fight, usually has been shown to be pretty evenly matched in many ways.
Yep.
Superman against Black Adam tends to be he's stronger than him, but Black Adam has the advantage of magic.
Yep.
So that often skews the fight depending on which way you want it to go.
Exactly. So
Superman against the High Father, those gods, those guys, that's a whole other level.
Exactly. There's a whole other level.
Yeah, but no. Every single person you mentioned, you're saying maybe not. You can't say there's none that's you can say with full confidence I'm more powerful. Yeah. Not one of those. You can say, oh maybe, but not one of them.
Yeah, but that's the physicality, maybe. But if it came down to it, the fight between Black Adam and Superman, there's only one winner. The fight between Hyper and Superman, there's only Zeus and
no, there's no way. Superman versus Black Adam. Superman versus Black Adam.
Superman has beaten Black Adam
definitely
many times.
What?
Superman has beaten Black Adam. Listen, I'm a fan.
How about
my favorite character is Captain Marvel. My favorite character is Marvel.
Wonder Woman has beaten the bloodlusted Superman at least twice that I know of. Wonder Woman has beaten
and Superman has.
Are you talking about Injustice beating, or are you talking about?
No, that's Injustice beating. There's one time Maxwell Lord controlled Superman's power, and he thought he was Doomsday, so he wasn't holding back, and she beats him like a child.
And Superman's beating her more
like she beats him.
First of all,
sorry guys.
The only reason she ever beats him.
Response so that I can at least when editing.
Go on.
Yeah. So for me personally, for my answer is a bit layered. So for Marvel Comics, I'm going to pick the guy known as Protege. as the second most powerful character in Marvel Comics. Now, Protege was a character in Marvel Comics who basically was a being created by the Church of Universal Truth. And his power was he had the ability to duplicate and upgrade the power of anything that he saw. So basically, this guy met Mephisto. He got Mephisto's powers, an upgraded version of Mephisto's powers. This guy met the Living Tribunal. He met some of the Celestials. They met the Living Tribunal, duplicated the Living Tribunal's powers, and basically upgraded it. And he was on his way to the one above all, also to do exactly the same thing. Then Marvel Comics pulled something I don't understand. They created this character known as Celestial, known as the Absolver, who has the ability to wipe anything out of creation. And basically that was how they got rid of Protege, by bringing in a character known as the Absolver, a Celestial who can basically wipe stuff out of existence. That was how they got rid of Protege. So for me personally, I'm going to pick Protege as my second most powerful Marvel character. Originally, I was going to pick the one above all because I believe Miranda is a lot more powerful than the one above all. But that's a very controversial pick. So let me just go with Protege. And for my DC pick, I'm going to go with Lucifer Morningstar. Quite frankly, in DC Comics, the Presence has been killed. You know, he's died before. So yeah, Lucifer Morningstar is a guy who.
I thought he couldn't die.
No, he died. He was killed. This was even recently. Like, it was this year. The Lucifer series this year.
Yeah.
I don't read Lucifer, to be honest. So that's...
Yeah, and for Lucifer, this is the guy that's capable of creating his own multiverse, and this guy survives so Lucifer survived the New 52, survived Rebirth. When I say survived, it means he's aware of these changes happening. He actually knows that he's in the multiverse. Like, these changes have happened over time. He knows about Earth 1, Earth 2, and all of that. He knows about all of that happening. So for me personally, I'm thinking to myself, who is it? Is it Batman? Are we here to play? Are we here for jokes? Which Batman are you guys talking about? Who is that? Who is Batman? Who is that?
He's the plot favorite.
No, but to be honest with you, in terms of the most powerful beings that Batman has defeated, that's Darkseid, the universal Darkseid. Okay, Lucifer is multiversal, so okay, what?
Oh wait, they also write a story that will make you spit and soup.
I cannot disagree with that. Unfortunately, Batman is that character. He's that character that you hate to love.
Batman will shock you, travel back in time, you'll cross over, find Infinity Gauntlet, perfect from Marvel, come back to DC, grab the Mobius chair, take Infinity Gauntlet and Mobius chair, and go and take Lucifer out and be like, what? My God.
But this.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We've been talking a lot of smack, abusing each other and discussing and debating like we typically do on the Meltdown. Let us know your thoughts, ask any questions you have, abuse anybody you want to abuse in the comments, and also give us your feedback so we can try to improve this and do it more and more often.
Don't forget to like and comment on this video and let us know what you think. Subscribe! Why did you say subscribe? Well, you guys take care.
Peace out! Peace out!